Salutation, darlings. Zorwing here, bringing you some more
My people are used to the
Genshin
desert life,
Impact.
but still, I hope that one day they'll be able to find an oasis of their own and leave the sandstorms behind for a better life.
Right here.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Anywho, we're continuing our quest line for this little Fontaine world quest. There's a lot of world quests. The beginning of the end lies into the Nascaru's Ordo. Head down there. But as we tend to do, we start out these, or Fontaine is so freaking weird. Like, it's the source of all of Tibet's waters. So, yeah, all the world's waters. But also just like, it's just so raised up above the land. It's just baffling at times. Anywho, well, heading over here, not to listen to the music that used to be here. It's so sad. But mostly because, like, I saw Verka here. Like, literally I was over here because I was wanting to listen to, like, them sing that Favonius ballad. Only to find they're not singing it anymore. Apparently it was just a Varka questline thing. I could be wrong. Either way, here's Varka.
Mika? Mika!
Coming, Grandmaster!
Take this letter to the Ratnik headquarters. I've included all the specific tasks and required maps inside. This letter is to be delivered to Miss Neffer at the Curatorium of Secrets. You know how to deliver it. This letter is to be delivered to Mondstadt. There's nothing urgent in there. It can wait. Depart immediately and maintain communication using the same methods and frequency as before. Finally, stay safe on the road. Danger pops up, run. Can't run fast enough? Shout for help. And if shouting's not enough, run and shout at the same time.
Yes, Grandmaster.
Okay. Most random as hell anecdote. Anyway, the main reason that I was like starting here is because it didn't show up on the map. Because normally, if I zoom out, yeah, normally characters in their little place will have the little talkie bubble. They'll be like, "Hey, somebody's here to talk." Not this, apparently. So this, admittedly, I haven't checked yet, but this does make me want to teleport around to the others, see if any of our friends are there. You know, just in case. Let's see. I don't see any particularly familiar Ratnik around. Okay. It's not like there's only... it's not like there's only one. There's a handful of spots that we can go. Oh my gosh. Also, I am not at all worried about the loading times anymore. And also, basically just background chatter. Oh, like of course I'll be talking about the game as it's relevant. And also here's what is her name? Alice is Clee's mom. Barbie Barbeloth is Mona's master. Oh, you also have a very modern name. Nicole.
Unbelievable.
Oh, what happened?
Mr. Nine has refused to help me write my masterpiece. She said, it might be best if you wrote this one yourself, considering the highly complex world building. I cajoled and pestered her all I could, but it was to no avail. Believe me, I'd finish it myself if I could. That was my intention from the beginning. I wanted to finish a work of my own to prove a point to her, but it didn't work out. The moment the ending popped into my mind, my creative drive was extinguished.
Such a mood.
You two may well be the only people in this world to ever hear the tale of Nicola Coco, the mage from Planet Meow. So please, do not forget her, and do not forget her adventures.
Oh, I don't think I could.
Mr. Nine has refused to help me write my masterpiece. Believe me, you two.
Nicola Coco. It's like, where do I even begin? Jesus Christ, that was certainly a story she told us. Anywho. But yeah, apparently you can just, when you're teleporting to these, you can find, well, the people who tend to frequent the area there. And for some reason they don't, well, to be fair, unfortunately, a lot of Nod Cry, Jesus Christ, what are they, anecdotes. A lot of Nod Cry's anecdotes are, for whatever reason, and I'm terrible at explaining things. A lot of Nod Cry anecdotes are conditional. Like, oh, jeez. But Jesus. Often. I mean, I only tried to swing after it after. Oh yes, if only we could interact with the spirits of the grave. I am very much working on it, because, like, there's these bunch over there. It's like I have in general. But that's literally why I've been working on this team that has Flynn's at its head, so that I could, like, do... Because Flynn's has, like, a lot of these... There'll be a lot of, like, locations where it'll have, like, a glowing, lighthouse symbol on just whatever it is. And basically you need to be Flynn's. So, like, I basically just want to build up, like, a Nod Cry team with Flynn's. Realize, Lightkeeper Amino. Or, like, this chair, where that's a ghost's favorite chair. But you'll only see the ghost if you're Flynn's. And there's just, like, a bunch of these instances all around, all around Nod Cry. Or there'll be, like, instances of where you're fighting the... Jesus Christ, what are they called? Oh my gosh. You know, the enemies that the Ratnik fight. Like, the Ratnik specifically. What are they called? Ugh, just barely missed it. Anywho, the local the local Nod Cry enemy. I'm sure. Not I was gonna say not like the Fatui, but not the other common Nod Cry enemy. Anywho, Jesus Christ. My ramblings are getting less and less sensible. Anywho, basically, you need specific nod cry characters to interact with the world. And I just want to set up like a nod cry team and just run around nod cry to and basically have them to interact with the world. So I have been upgrading that. Like literally before nod cry was out. Before when nod cry had first released and their Jesus Christ game. Aggy as hell. Oh. Here's one little Lino. And a charred Lombro.
Little Chard, I think you're getting smarter. You actually pick out useful treasures from the trash now.
I'm 1,000 times smarter than you.
Oops, I was wrong. It's your arrogance that's been skyrocketing. Maybe I should take that flower back. Looks like someone is getting a bit too big for their britches.
I won't let you! And it's not a flower.
Yeah it is. It's the one I put on you last time.
Well, I won't let you take it.
Why?
Because it makes me smart.
Take it easy.
Okay, for some reason, not everything counts as an anecdote. Probably because we've seen them before. Just running over here to check, because I remember I once saw potential anecdote for Ino and or Anefa. I say and or, it would be Ino or Anefa. Yes. Going to the world's hidden anecdotes. Looking for hidden anecdotes. Characters sometimes appear in the world. Say hi to them. There's Llama. I'll call it here. What should I call that book? Frostmoon Science History. History should help her pick a suitable one. Yeah, you'll have like things like this where it's like you need to be a specific character. In this case, it's Llama. But like, I know, you can always do these.
We're here to visit.
Now this is an anecdote. Oh, what happened here? That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Boxes piled up everywhere. Some of them opened up. Loose items strewn all over the floor. Huh. Isn't this supposed to be a library?
Seems more like a storeroom at this point. Are they doing some more renovations?
Look! Llama's over there talking to a weasel thief. What are they plotting this time? Let's go see.
Be that as it may, we don't have any urgent excavation work for you at the moment, so please, stop digging holes all over the place, all right? That's a good child. Here, this Mora is for you.
That's the weasel thief from last time, right? What was Llama saying? Have they found another relic?
Hello there, traveler, Paimon. Welcome to the library. Is there anything I can help you with?
Have you found some more buried relics? We saw you talking to the weasel thief. Have you found some more buried relics?
No. I was just giving the little one a bit of a stern warning. It's been getting a little overexcited lately, and it's starting to bother the community. Its passion for treasure hunting has only grown since we retrieved the lunar semblance. It comes to me all the time, asking when the next treasure hunt will be. I keep repeating that we now have more than enough documents and relics in our library to occupy our research. But alas...
It can't change its nature, so it went off treasure hunting on its own?
Yes, but it doesn't quite understand what constitutes a relic. So it simply digs up anything that seems valuable and drops it off here. It has at least promised me that it won't go digging around again, but there's already a big backlog of items from previous digs. There's no way around it. I'll just have to go through and sort them, one by one. Sorry, you two. I'm afraid I won't be able to accompany you on your sightseeing today. Now then, what's in this box again?
Seems Llama would be a bit busy. So yeah, no need to summon her to help her
Take it easy.
to help her local little librarian there name a book. Although, speaking of books, oh my gosh. Some of the fics that I have read, like, okay, this one's like my last destination. Oh my gosh, though. Like, for some of the fics that I've read, actually, since we're going to get into Zoom, I might as well go here. I guess I could go there, and that's closer. But there's also something here that I never remember to get. But what was he saying? You can't see it, but my cat Fleur is just like snuggled in my lap, and I just have to be so careful not to disturb her. She is dreaming, and her like paws, she's so adorable. Her paws are just like twitching in her sleep. She's clearly like playing and having fun. Sweet dreams for this the sweetest little cat that you've never. I swear, when I start threatening to talk about the fanfics that I've read, the game loads faster. Like, I cannot make this up. Normally my loading times would be horrible. Anyway. Omni Ubiquity Nets. It's been a while since I've bought some. Yeah, so, yeah, no, it's been a long while. And by a long while, I mean I've completely forgotten about it. Anywho, I have read a ton of fics. I also, honestly, just because I have to, like, this is a personal flex for me, but I was like literally just like passively keeping track of like how long I was reading, because I was like, I don't want to read too long. Can't let it be like 3 in the morning again. So, trying to avoid like things like that. And I discovered I read 350 words per minute on average. And mind you, there's reading as fast as you can, and then there's understanding what you're reading. Like, I read at what I consider a casual pace. Like, I stop to just like think over what I read and just giggle at the characters and just cringe at the characters. And literally on average, even with me taking moments to just go, oh my god, I can't believe those characters just did that, I still read at 350 words per minute. I literally was astonished myself. But I had read like a 21,000 word fic in an hour, and I was like, what does that break down to? Apparently it's about 350 words per minute, give or take. So it's like, I read very fast, and I understand what I'm reading, so a personal accomplishment for me. Cross-referencing the results from other investigations. Right, it looks like this break-in can be coincided with the others. Still, what kind of criminal would sum nothing after gaining entry, and just how did they get in? Working on a new case? Oh, perfect timing, is Irving. Indeed I am, and on quite the interesting one, too. There's a criminal breaking into homes across the city, but they never steal anything once they're in. They just make a huge mess of bookshelves. The residents are already at their wits' ends. Though there haven't been any material losses, nobody wants invaders traipsing through their homes, so they filed a case with us. Could we be dealing with a light novel superfan gone rogue? This is already the third home this month. It's a bit much even for someone obsessed with novels. But there is one thread linking all the cases. Every victim owns a copy of a crime novel called The Flesh-Eating Tree that you shouldn't mess with. What's even more fascinating is that the criminals' methods mirror those described in the book. Even their physical mannerisms down to the way they walk are similar to the book's protagonist. In cases like this, the conventional wisdom dictates that we should first bring the author down to the police station for questioning. But I've got a different theory, and the Doshin are helping me verify it as we speak. If they can find the clue they're looking for, I'll be able to keep putting this puzzle together. Oh, the Darshan are always in the mood. And what about Sara? Madame Kujo Sara is leading the investigation herself. She even got all stern with me before leaving. I'll trust your judgment for now, Sira Kunin. Shikaron. Shikaron? But how certain are you? Oh, and what did you say? Right now, about 30%. If their findings align with my expectations, 60%. And in the meantime, I need to find someone, if they really exist, and then the truth won't be far off. And what kind of person would that be? Someone with a motive to track down every copy of the flesh-eating tree that you shouldn't mess with. Anecdotes are weird. Anyway, let's continue on. We're not going here just yet. We are going here. Anyway, so for the fic I was reading, how can I describe it? I read a lot of fics, but it's like I read a lot of fics. Very vivid mind space. How do I'm terrible at putting anything to words. Like, my mind just does not compute. Like, I full on 404 whenever I have to describe something. And if you think it's just when you're streaming, it's just when you're like, no. This happens IRL too. I literally, was trying to explain something to my cousin, and I just started and stopped so many sentences. Thankfully, my cousin understands me, and I say understands me. They understand the situation. They don't quite understand what I'm saying, about 30% of the time, which honestly is not the best. But still, that means they do understand me about 70% of the time, which is an accomplishment, considering most people don't understand what I'm saying at all. Anyway, so this one fic I'm reading. Okay, so it's a prequel to another series, and that series was just a banger of a series. Like, you have this, oh my gosh. I imagine, Jesus Christ. Like, it's starting out essentially as a prequel, and then it's going to go through the series, but giving the main character their own their version of the backstory and whatnot. So you start out with this one character that comes across as very, how can I describe him? Very selfish. How do I describe him? Simply. So you have the main characters that's very selfish. They don't quite care about people. Basically, they're immortal. They've been an immortal for over 1,000 years. So they've long since forgotten what's being human. And they're not the worst at interacting with the humans in the main series, but just they're not the best at it either.
I've already organized all the materials related to the products and the business premises. Considering that the standard procedure of applying for the business license can take some time, I recommend that you coordinate with your partner in Fontaine as soon as possible to decide on a timing for handling the paperwork.
Oh dear. There I was, so caught up in choosing the new store location that I almost forgot about this. Almost messed up big time.
Please don't panic. According to the schedule we drew up, there's still ample buffer time.
Miss Kuki Shinobu, you truly are a professional consultant. If it weren't for your help, I don't know how many pitfalls I might have fallen into on my first overseas business venture.
Oh, you're too kind. I'm simply doing my duty. I've accepted your commission. It is my responsibility to oversee every detail. As for the next phase of our marketing strategy, I have a fairly clear picture of our target audience, but I'll still need some time to scope out the competition.
Of course! I really appreciate it. I'll check in with my partner first. We will reconvene once a suitable time has been arranged.
All right, feel free to contact me anytime.
Seems familiar. I can't quite place it.
Oh,
but she seems
traveler! What a coincidence running into you here. How have you been lately?
Kuki Shinobu. Hi, how have you been? Are you in Fontaine on business?
Yes, a business owner wants to promote Inazuman's specialties in Fontaine, so she engaged me as a consultant. I'm also helping to draft the business plan. Which brings me here on this business trip to assist with local procedures. It's a good chance to conduct market research, too.
I see that bull. Oh, what is the bull's name? Ito's little bull's name is Aritaki's Gate. Business is booming.
Speaking of which, this business owner is quite generous. After learning about the gang's situation, she volunteered to cover travel expenses for the other members, too.
Oh, so Ito and the others are here as well?
That's right. We came here together. Let me check the time. They should be underwater by now.
Underwater?
Yes, underwater. Meaning the Fortress of Meripede.
Oh, she's thinking they got arrested by now. What happened?
Whoa! Woo-hoo! Man, the water feels great.
Ah, swimming in a place he's not supposed to.
Pretty quick for such a teensy little ship, huh? But did you really think Arataki, the man Ito, was gonna lose to some boat? Akira, Mamoru, get in the water quick! Last one to catch that boat's a rotten egg. Not gonna be me, though. Hey, do you even know how to swim, Genta? Because splashing water in my mouth is not how you do it! Boss, wait! I still haven't learned...
Why would you jump in the water if you don't know how to swim? Oh, and she's very disappointed. But Fontainians take their rules very seriously.
But please refrain from swimming in the Aqua Rail waterway, passengers. It is very dangerous. I repeat, foreign tourists must also comply with local laws. Passengers are not to swim in the Aqua Rail waterway. This is a violation of the Aqua Rail Traffic Safety Act.
And Shinobu just looks so disappointed.
Does anyone happen to know that very tall gentleman over there? Could you please help convince him to board the boat? Otherwise...
I apologize, Miss Melazine, for causing you trouble. I'll fish them out right away.
Mont, good thing you're here. Understood. Hey you, big guy. Your behavior constitutes a serious threat to public transportation safety. I'm going to need you to come with me.
Huh? What, you got any proof? Who's been threatened? Everyone looks perfectly fine to me. You know, I've got a top-notch lawyer on my side. Don't say I didn't warn you. Besides, even that Tengu warrior everyone's so scared of back home in Inazuma can't do nothing to me. How's a shorty like you supposed to bring me in?
Shorty? That's really mean. Monsieur Novilet said I'm perfectly capable of doing any job I set my mind to. Ew, I'm going to arrest you right now.
Can it, boss? Officer Melazine, I will cooperate and provide eyewitness testimony.
Hey, Shinobu, aren't we supposed to be on the same team? How could you...
This isn't a big deal right now, but if you don't cooperate, this'll only escalate further. Wouldn't want to make a fool of yourself while we're overseas now, would you?
Ushi. I think the bull's name is Ushi.
First, you switch sides, then you go and hit him a home run right out of the gate.
All done, Officer Melazine. You can take them now. They won't give you any trouble.
Boss! Wherever you go, we'll follow.
That about sums it up. It's not that serious. Their detention period will be just about over when I finish my business here. I'll just pick them up on the way back to Inazuma.
You sure have it tough.
This is nothing. I'm used to it. I hear the Fortress of Meripede has a different management style from the Commission's detention cells. It'll be a good opportunity for the boss to broaden his horizons. Oh, are you free later? I'm planning to go pick out some gifts for Yanfei and Miss Kujo. I'd appreciate it if you could provide a second opinion.
Absolutely, no problem. I'm ready anytime.
Thank you for your help. Just a moment. Ushi! Come on, we should get going.
Wait, but if Bull Trucker's in jail, why is the bull still here? She. Because
Ushi has always had his own principles. He never gets involved in anything the gang does that's unreasonable or against the law. He also helps handle all sorts of errands within the gang. For example, Ushi was basically in charge of packing for this business trip.
a very clever bull.
I once advised him that he didn't need to force himself to stay by the boss's side. With his talents, he could accomplish much greater things. But Ushi seems to have his own plans, and, well, I trust his judgment.
Aw. He's keeping an eye out for Ito. Weirdest lore I've learned yet. Anyway, so the fic I'm reading. Oh my god. Anyway, so I gave you the basic premise of like the original, like the source media, you know? Because, yeah, naturally fanfics. Fanfics are a delight. If you don't read fanfics, how? Like, even every once in a while, like, I'm not saying like every day, but even like once or twice a year, read a fanfic. And if you're just like, oh, where to start, pick your favorite fandom. Or maybe pick your favorite tag. Like 90% of the time, I just sort by tags. Hurt, comfort, adventure, romance. I pick a tag, and then I just see what's there. Read a description or two, or 10. Pick a story. You can sort by length. In most sites. I'm mostly thinking AO3. Oh, also, AO3 is out of beta. AO3 is officially out of beta. And I was just like, how did I not... Oh. I was like, how did I not notice that sooner? AO3 is a delightful site. Anyway, the fic I was reading. So, you basically have this immortal who, in the original thing, I'm not giving much details because currently it's not relevant, but basically, very not human anymore. And so, like, in this prequel fic, do I want to give the basis away? Okay, specifically, like, a vampire is immortal, not like the Doctor or any other type of immortal. Specifically vampires. To be fair, vampires are just delightful. What does it say here? Displays in their special observation design about design. Sure, focus. Neat. Anything else in this room? Anywho, so you have a vampires fic. Okay, so on this puzzle. Oh, there it is. Cool, I actually turned it the right way for once. You see, you have this vampire who very much has long since forgotten, like, what it is to be human. And, like, this fic, which is essentially, like, a prequel for the main series, because they're like, well, how did this character end up this way? Why are they so... Why are they so distant and different? And it's like... Well, naturally, the fic does, like, the classic thing of, oh, they had, like, a traumatic backstory of, like, when they were first turned. But I also love that, like, the character Like the character in the main in the main series is like very competent. Like I would say they're probably like, if they're not the most dangerous, they're like the second most dangerous.
Quietly now.
Like the most dangerous character in the main series is just like someone who's just very much used to dealing with vampires. And so they're just like, ah, yes. And and basically treats the whole series like, ah, yes, this is just another Tuesday. Can I knock you off? I kinda don't want to knock you off, though.
Stabilize.
Anyway, so like, basically, how did this character that I'll give a very generous threatening rating. God damn it. I'll give a very generous threatening rating of. But also, they're very much not my problem sort of character. Like, very much here for a good time and a long time. Might have just given away a bit too many cards, but if you know, you know. If you don't, that's okay. So we have like this vampire that's, again, like I said, very threatening, and just someone's like, well, if the series won't give them a proper backstory, I'll give them a proper backstory. And like, oh my god, one chapter, it was like 10k words, but just in one chapter, like, I goddamn near cried. Like,
Let's get it on!
like, just truly heartbreaking. And like, the action, like, in the overall situation. And it's like, it's not told in like the most sympathetic way, but it's like, if you really think about it, you're just like, oh no, this character was very much screwed over. Like, quite a miserable turning period. So like, basically vampires have like a fledgling period, basically when they're new vampires and are essentially supposed to be cared for by like the rest of their cousin as they get used to their new immortal life. And Nascar's level 3 is used to blank to try Nascar's teaching. Extraordinary can produce into the spread of our intestines. Anyway, so it's, so while giving their backstory, like, basically they're Madam M. Levitus, a former Nascar, level 4 of church. Since yourself to enthusiastic and ideas of your door through immunity, applying the skills in the action using blank to make her popular. The other ladies on it, pride or do in the Netherlands. With blank from Netland, she's also greatly promoting the order's name in high society. Neat. So you have like this character that had a very like rough fledgling period. And normally they were considered fledgling like for 50 years. And like, when you can live forever, yeah, saying that 50 years is young is not an inaccurate statement, you know? And just, I can sit down. Hello. I have places to be though, so you have this, so am I just gonna tell you the fic? I'm just gonna tell you the fic. I'm gonna tell you the fic as I remember it. I remember it very well. It's been like a week since I've read it, but I still remember it very well. Just run around and stay. Oh, it's an elevator. Nifty. I mean, yep. Okay. Certificate. Remember the one is no one's generous to process the ordeals of difficult aspirations without financial support. Unfortunately, he remained unable to pass the level 1 test despite making several attempts due to his inability to remember the relevant keywords on account of his passion by this and granted honorary membership and level 1 access. Ah, yes. When you fail, but you're very likable. An honorary member. So it starts out like talking about this character's like turning. They're like, okay, didn't get turned willingly for starters, and was basically interesting, and essentially was up on the menu, but apparently the particular coven that he got like picked up by very much appreciates a good fighter. I say appreciates. That is putting it kindly. That is putting it so kindly, and I want you to know it was not kind at all in the actual fic. Like, pretty much it was like, oh, like, okay, so the vampires are basically immortal, and it's like, and the series starts essentially before humans learn how to kill vampires. So, like, whenever a vampire gets killed, they just come back. Like, quote-unquote killed. Like, basically, they just get weakened and whatnot, and they need to go, like, drink more blood and power up again. Eldritch, for natural, level 2, fierce, naturally. Fierce civilization, finally joined in investigation since. Neat. Anywho. So basically, this, I don't think this is going to do anything. Oh. Oh, okay. It does do something. Anyway, so our main character literally starts out by just being a badass. Like, just being the absolute coolest that he could be. And just is able to defeat, like, 4 vampires in a fight. Like, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Like, this is sad near a vampire, and it's like, the series is vaguely based on, like, a real world.
Quietly now.
So it's just like, so when I say, like, the series starts from a long time ago, I mean it, like, really does start from, like, a long time ago.
Well, how about that?
And yeah, no, I guess that one's kind of in the middle, so I'm guessing this one makes it go up. Yeah, it makes the other one go up. Anywho, so are they both gonna move? Yeah, I probably should have moved the other one. I already read that. Anywho, so oh. I see. Okay. Well, now I know it's how this works. Anyway, so you have like our main character, pop off. Eventually losing. Like, they are at the very beginning of the story, very much human. And by very beginning of the story, I mean like the first couple of paragraphs, they're human. Like, it's very much, they were human. They were a very well-trained fighter. Like, very much in the age of conquerors and, like, second sons, so, while technically, like, a backup for, for older sibling, more likely to see battle. Sort of deal.
Stabilize.
And so, this character, yeah, I'm just gonna be quick about this. So this character, like, essentially impresses, like, the head of the vampire coven that they are about to unwillingly join. And it really is annoying. And it's just like, okay, you're reading it, it's just like, oh, whatever. Pretty standard thoroughfare. Blah blah blah. All that kind of thing. I literally just want my energy back. Lovely. Anyway, so just that easy, really. Well, I'll take my time. Miss C something Garcia, former NASCAR door member and famous dancer. She's the most generous and positive for their due, and has herself reached level 3 on a certain Sunday. NASCAR has healed her injured leg and awakened her genius. Interesting. Anyway, so basically our main character gets captured and, like, taken to see the big bad vampire lord, who's just like, okay. He's like, okay, you seem like a good fighter. I require great fighters, because dude's basically trying to become, oh gosh, what was it, Rome? Yeah, dude's basically trying to become his own Roman Empire, basically. Like, trying to conquer, just maximum conquering. And, like, at this point in time, like, you eventually learn that the reason why they're able to get away with so much of the absolute BS that this terrible character is doing, is entirely because they're just losing members of the coven nearly as quickly as they're gaining. So basically the coven, like, for all that it's expanding, very much is getting killed off. So, like, basically they were only able to expand so much because it was, like, in the age before humans really knew how to kill vampires. And then once they discovered how to kill vampires, they're like, okay, we can probably fight back. And they're able to kind of get back a victory. So basically he's just like, you will listen. That is not a recommendation. Absolutely terrible character. RMC is in for a rough... Oh gosh. Jesus, Fleur. Fleur apparently is not liking my rambly talk. She wants me to continue on it. Alright, let's see. SJ's Garage, former Nescaroos member, level 1. Formal Nescaroos member, level 1. Scholar from Inazuma, staying in Fontaine. He's displayed great fear for Nescaroos teaching and has passed the level 1 test. No, he hoped he could spread his teaching in Inazuma. He seems to, for his own reason, prefer living in Fontaine. He's also a romance novelist of some fame, and his work is peppered with hidden Romarian riddles. His success is initially related to Ordu's research. Interesting. Anywho, so, like, our vampire, newly turned fledgling. Okay, so basically, I was like, that's the door that's the one I came through. This is what I'm going through. So, like, our vampire, newly turned fledgling vampire is like, basically after he gets turned, he basically immediately tries to make a run for it. And eventually we learn this is a pretty big deal, because normally, like, fledgling vampires are supposed to be, like, very much in their instincts. Because while proper vampires, like centuries old and whatnot, are difficult to kill. Fledgling vampires are not. So it's basically like, you know, instincts to help keep you alive. Jesus Christ, cat.
We mercs have one simple rule. Whoever pays the most is your new boss.
So basically, so that new vampires don't immediately get themselves killed. They basically want to like stay close to other more powerful vampires around them. And our main character, for whatever reason, does not experience this. I will mess with that later. Our main character essentially does not experience this, like, at all. So they basically immediately, like, the guy proceeds to immediately make a run for it and tries to go home. Like, they're very much, like, while second son and more prepared for battle and whatnot, they very much are loved in their home and they want to go back to it. And it's I read a lot of hurt comfort stories. They're delightful. I also read a lot of hurt no comfort stories. So believe I'll oh, right, this. So believe me when I say that they experience a very tragic lesson and learn very painfully so that leaving is not an option. Like, root cycle. What's this? Oh. I can't tell if the clanking I'm hearing is like an enemy on another floor, or if it's this machine, and that's...
The
Wait, no.
desert's a tough adversary.
Yeah, no, it's that gear. I think it's supposed to be something that gear turning. Just about. Anywho, so, like I said, our main character, unfortunately for them, John, learns the very painful lesson that that fighting back is not an option. Like, at least if they want to continue surviving. I don't need to see that. How do I get the bottom one spitting now? Game. Interesting game. Where do I need to put the thing in? No. Okay. Anyway, while I'm thinking about this, I'll continue describing the... Okay, so it's just current gear position. Is there something... Because I want to move... This one. I was just being stupid. So, basically our main character learns a very painful lesson, and that very painful lesson is, that they essentially just have to listen to a head vampire bastard. And the description of, like, leading bastard is very obviously doesn't care about, like, any of the fledglings and whatnot. Like, no, I should have gone the other way. Lovely. This one. And so you have this one character that's essentially at their heart just wants to go home, but very much is stuck in a very dangerous situation. And like, and so like this story is essentially like, well, how did they become how did they become the very dangerous character? And it's like, so far, like, I'm like, they're staying pretty true to the source material. Like, this character is a very competent fighter, they're a very competent strategist, but they're also very selfish. Because, like, 100... But at the same time, they're not the most selfish character. They are very empathetic to those around them, and they do understand that, much like them, a lot of the other fledgling vampires don't want to be there either. So, I guess I'll continue later. Let's see. I estimate the height of the tower, and we're almost at the bottom. We may have to face Nascarouz if we continue to descend. The world is about to welcome its own answer. Will it be destruction or salvation? Or perhaps Nascarouz's version of salvation? Please, who'd want to escape the apocalypse? The apocalypse their way. Everyone would want to escape the apocalypse. If Paimon had to leave, she'd make a Zorwing take her away from Tevat. I'm going to save everyone. Hey, Paimon wasn't saying that she'd just watch everyone bite the dust. There aren't any whistles or Peruse is here, so why don't we get some rest and prepare ourselves here? Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Everyone, the door to the next level seems to be locked. Do you require me to put my engine into overdrive to get enough horsepower to break through? That won't be necessary. We decided to rest and reorganize here anyway. So we should just be cautious and look around for a key. And if we discover it's a door without a key, I'll kick it open myself. Okay, so we can talk to everyone. Okay, real quick before I talk to everyone, like... Yeah, door with a key. Okay, I'm nosy as hell, don't mind me. Notes. Cool. Oh, okay, so we definitely need to prepare for a fight. Oh yeah, it's like they're not on, but they're not on right now. Okay, so basically, okay, I literally just, I would love to tell my cousin this, but like he's not the he'd rather just play the original source material, like whether it be like a show or a game. He'd rather experience the original source material than read a fic.
Is your new boss.
I can, on rare occasions, get my cousin to read a fic, but it is very much a rare occasion. Anywho, so like when I say that the character is like very empathetic, like there are others humans that again are very much like forcefully turned into vampires because that's how they do things. They're like basically okay. We're just going to throw more people at the problem. Like that's the way things have been working, and it works well enough. If you have enough people to throw at the problem, it'll eventually get solved. Good. Especially when the problem is, can only be solved with violence. Have enough people, throw enough people at it, and yeah, it'll eventually get solved. So basically, like as like the conquering gets on, and like people figure out how to like kill vampires, like RMC, top-notch fighter, like absolute, like 10 out of 10, very threatening character. Like I said, when they were human, they were able to kill 4 vampires, quote unquote kill 4 vampires, like all on their own, and just essentially impress them enough where they're like, okay, we're turning you to our side, whether you want to or not. And of course the character did not, but they don't have a choice in it anymore. And like, oh my gosh, later on, like again, like this character hasn't even lived like a full human life yet. Like this is happening in like a 50-year time period. Yeah, like a 40 to 50 year time period. So very young by vampire standards. Very much
Navigating the world
should
is a
not
whole lot easier with a few different.
very much should not be out fighting, but they are anyway because because if ever left to their own devices, they're not at all loyal to their cause, like at all in the slightest. But at the same time, they very much understand that if they step too far out of line, they could get killed, or worse, most likely worse, because they are considered a valuable enough asset. And so they eventually noticed that like humans are sneaking into the castle and are sneaking into the castle to like kill the more powerful vampires. And they notice the humans, and it's like they try because like they've been forcibly taught to always go to their superiors whenever facing an unknown situation, and they essentially get shoved to the side because
The desert's a
they're
tough adversary.
a fledgling and very much not cared about. Tragic, heartbreaking. I'm doing the story a disservice, but I still have to talk about it. I'm doing the story a disservice. And so humans continue like breaking in, and our main character just like, anyway. But then what really gets them concerned is that they start seeing other vampires. And by other vampires, I mean vampires who are not a part of the coven. And like I said, they're a fairly empathetic character. They understand that others pretty much aren't very much like themselves, don't want to be there. So they're like keeping an eye. So like this whole time when they eventually get called back to the castle, because basically the more powerful members of the coven basically want them to protect their own neck, and he eventually does not. So like he's rebelling in his like own little tiny ways, and basically starts to stay out of the way, be overlooked, be ignored, be forgettable, and essentially just starts protecting the younger members of the coven, and whenever possible, encouraging them to run. And like literally this goes on for like a decade. Like time passes, and the character really thinks about it. Like they could so easily run. They could so easily escape. But there are others there that don't have the strength to escape And if they're not there, and if like their MC is not there to protect them, they could get killed. And so the MC, despite wanting to go home, stays. Stays in a very dangerous place. And like they're just essentially slowly watching the downfall of like this entire coven, like from the inside out. And it's a very lovely read. And and like the whole time they're just like protecting fledglings that they can and just missing the ones that get pulled, because like the entire time the coven's like crumbling from within. The head of the coven is still trying to conquer the world.
Good roll.
Yeah. Of course, eventually, build yourself a high enough tower, and the only way to go is down. And so eventually, like, the head of the coven is killed for their many crimes. And you breathe a sigh of relief. And our MC, realizing that things are going down, takes the fledglings and books it. They get stopped by the various vampires that have been invading. Don't worry, they are technically, I say technically, they are technically good characters. They don't seem very good characters, but like the whole time while our MC is like protecting like the newest and weakest members of the coven, the fledglings, the other vampires have been essentially looking for the fledglings of the coven to rescue them. But the thing is, before our MC put himself on nesting duty, they were very much a powerful warrior and tended to be in the biggest fights. And it was essentially understood, if you were fighting this character, you were going to die. So basically, they have a very terrifying reputation. And so, like, none of the would-be rescuers like the MC very much. And so they get captured. And the fledglings are rescued. And things don't seem to be going well for our MC. Like, he's there, but like he's there, but like he's put in a dungeon and like essentially locked away and left to starve. They're vampires, they can go longer without food, but still longer without food, quote unquote blood. Quote unquote, I don't mean. They can go longer without food, their food mean blood, than normal humans. And so like he's lived there for like weeks and pretty much understands that their life very much hangs in the balance.
We mercs have one simple...
Hello, Flair. You came back. Oh, cat. Mm-hmm. Yes, hello. Come on. Hello, Flair. I've been ambushed by my cat. Hello. Flair's such a sweet baby. Little fuzzy baby. Little fuzzy baby. Okay. If you could just like chill. Flair, come on, lay down. I need at least. Oh, and you managed to lay down in the most inconvenient way possible. Okay.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you?
Okay, Flair just wants some more attention. Anywho, let's get on with this story, and I will continue the tale of this vampire that made their choice. Anywho, how can I help you, Knight of Zorwing? Both Caterpillar and Zima are helping out, but I don't seem to be any of use now. Don't worry about it. Of course, I understand, though it's obvious that we can just kick it open. We've reached an understanding to do so, investigating it instead. I suppose this is us trying to mentally prepare ourselves after a fashion, right? Storybook. A strange fairy tale with some comments written in purple. The Rob's pocket watch is, in truth, the beginning of the dream. The watch is a precise timekeeper that will flow time in dreamland is madness. When the clock chimes, all shall end. Marianne, whom people often mistake Liddell for, but could it be that they were at first one and the same? The caterpillar has all the hallmarks of maturity, the pipe, the reading glasses of knowledge, yet the larva he remains. Not yet a butterfly, one who lacks the confidence to break through a cocoon. One who lacks the confidence to break through a cocoon shall die before ever becoming so. But moths have no mouth parts, and thus they can only leap into the flames. The Queen of Hearts, the one who loved to take heads. The White Knight, who mumbled about his little inventions. The Red Queen, in the end, it was all her dream, and she was a little mother cat. Interesting. Swirling, why are people so fond of immersing themselves in dreams? Marianne weaves dreams encircling everyone, and the Nascaruz is living in his dreams of saving the world. And I'm the one who's worried about tomorrow. So it's understandable if you don't understand, Pi. Because Paimon's the type to live in the present? But if it's a dream, you have to wake up eventually. And there are only two things you can do after waking up from a dream. You can try to go right back to sleep and return to the same dream, or you can face yourself in the waking world. And since you've woken up, it's time for breakfast. You can reward yourself with a nice chicken mushrooms here. It's time to wake up again and bravely face for reality for another day. You can do it. Wait, so that really was foreshadowing. Foreshadowing? What foreshadowing? Interesting. Alright, Seymour. Hello, how may I assist? About the Gardamex. Do not worry, all of them are inactive. If we consider their extreme age and the fact that they are early models, the probability of them waking at all is far from certain. According to the records of those with me, accessing the level below will trigger their activation sequences. At that point, around 60% of them will activate successfully. As for the remaining 40%, it is not guaranteed that they will fail to activate either. Ugh. At least there's a chance the slow march of time has reduced the danger we are about to face. You're starting to confuse me. Apologies, Miss Azorwing. Basically, some of them might not activate, but most of them probably will. Notes. Red is the foundational principle of the Philosopher's Stone, while yellow represents gold, the moral temptation. Yellow is simply bait, red is the final goal. However, the Conria would likely speak truth for the gold's sake. Would likely seek the truth for gold's sake before turning to that truth into a bread production pipeline. What? Okay, and that's it. And that made the least sense to me. Here are some of Nascaru's notes and books here, interesting as they may be. None of them have a conclusion. Caterpillar, I have a question. Ask away. The members of the Ordu clearly hate Clockwork Mecha. So why are there so many gears in this tower? Now that's an interesting question, but all I can offer is my own conjecture. In my opinion, the theme of this place isn't gears, but belts. The chime of a bell holds separate meaning, even for people like Jacob and the Nascaru. A special meaning? When the bell tolls, the world ends, the adventure is over, or you simply awaken from the dream. Who knows? Alright, everyone. Well, guess what we have stuck between pages. Throwing. Whoa, it's a key! Indeed. And Seymour's already used sonic imaging to do a rough analysis. It really is the key to that door. If Fontaine's authorities raided this place, why didn't they find this? Perhaps the answer is that it was simply never raided. Having looked through the notes here, I think I can understand why. Why he simply closed the door and quietly left. What are you trying to say? It's nothing. Perhaps this is enough. After all, there are clockwork mech below that may come to life at any second. Time to go. I want you to know that my cat is very much laying on my arm. She's very happy and she's trying to fall asleep. Aww. Waiting for the time that they'll come home. And reports his very reports written during the ecological improvements, how to cipher tablets, on slates regarding the Romarian characters, regarding morality. How the advocacy is more practical than ancients. When confidence of spirits and will, it's just as people Meru has specialized in illustrating different stages of plant growth. Names have more than 20 words describing water's various aspects. Regarding fortune. Math for proverbs, the best they could. As expected, it seems to be an attempt to make up for some shortfall. Yeah? I don't have the patience to read. Yes, an avid reader that I am. No patience to read this. Yeah. Anyway. We continue. So, like, RMC is, like, sitting in a dungeon and, like, basically... I'm just gonna walk. And so, basically, we have this one vampire chick, red eyes and all, and she's just like, I am going to be the one to make sure that, basically, because pretty much none of the vampires in the original coven were willing to be captured alive, essentially. And literally our MC was the only one that was willing to be captured alive. So they're essentially the only one left to take the blame for all that has happened. It's very pretty. Combat capabilities arrayed here are quite the terrifying sight. Huh, you changed back, Caterpillar? Well, we do need to be ready for a fight after all. Look. Must be the security installations that were left behind when the tower was sealed. I'm afraid attempting to access the lower level will trigger their activation sequences. Your guess is correct. I've checked. These clockwork mecha can indeed still be activated. In other words, there's also a possibility they will fail to activate. They've been here for all these years? I mean, down here is pretty good is in pretty good condition, all things considered. Well, this is the first time in years that the Holy Blade of Nascarus has been restored. If the design... I love steampunk. If the design from back then is accurate, the Holy Blade itself is the key that'll open the final seal. If everyone's ready, let's get started. Let's bring this to an end. When the two of you were attacked, my permissions will activate, authorizing me to take action against official armed forces. As such, there is no need for concern. Let's go. The final juncture awaits. Oh, it feels like the floor is moving. It's the beginning of the end. Oh? It's going down. Interesting.
Quietly now.
The doctor was sealed.
Let's get it on!
Solidify.
I mean,
Health comes first.
that's certainly something that can happen.
Busted.
Gather. Mind the side effects.
Anywho, so, like, one chick, like, comes back and is just like, ah, yes. Very all dramatic, very villainy. It's just like,
Solidify.
ah, yes, I will make sure that at least some of your coven will face judgment of some time. And basically, it's pretty well understood. It's basically going to be like a ceremonial, like a ceremonial execution. Like the character has no doubts at all that they're going to kill them, or at least try, because our character, if nothing else, is at least somewhat selfish. And they, for the past like 50 years, have just wanted to go home. And being captured does not change that one at all.
Seems like an emergency.
But at the same time, the character, like I said, they're a very smart character. They know when they're outnumbered, outgunned. They know when they're fighting a losing battle, and so they're like, okay, we'll see where this goes. Certainly not just gonna roll over and die, but at the same time, just seeing where it goes. Because in like some ways they're very much tired of the eternity that they've been forced into. They're tired of like the years and years of fighting and all that. My cat is falling asleep on my arm. She's precious. Night to Zorwing, Paimon, Caterpillar, Seymour, is everyone alright? Yes, it seems that we can now proceed deeper down. I really wish that we saw Caterpillar and Seymour, like, fighting. That would have been nice. Let's go. Well, there's still time. There's still a bunch of Clockwork Mecha here. Go now. Leave this area to Seymour and I. We'll regroup at the Nascaroos or do. Good luck. No need to worry about us. There's no need to worry about us. My combat assessment shows a 100% chance of survival. You nod to Caterpillar and Seymour, then you leap through this as the seal drops. On the other side, you find... Well, if it's going to take its time to load, I'll just continue talking. And it proceeds to immediately load. God damn it, game. Looks like Caterpillar and Seymour are stuck on the other side. A very pretty area. And the music's very pretty as well. Seymour, Caterpillar. Don't worry about them, man. They're strong. Besides, we agreed that we'd meet back up after at the Ordu after all this is over, didn't we? And don't forget, we're both here with you. You're right, Paimon. I've seen how strong, smart, and kind you both are. There's nothing to fear with you two here. Nothing to fear at all. That said, Paimon's a little scared herself. There's nothing to worry about. There's no hardship we can't overcome. We have to keep moving forward. Okay. There's no telling what we'll run into next. Let's be careful. Oh? We got a new week going on. Not time. I'm like, is my audio unusually quiet? Because it, like, low-key feels quiet to me. No. Mean voice chat. Also, very interesting. Also, yes, I am Hydra Traveler. Literally, I just became the Traveler version that I would be while doing these, while I would have been in Fontaine. Oh, What? Is this the primordial sea? Whoa. No kidding, is it? Where the water fontaines meets the primordial sea. Where they meet, but they don't quite mix. This is crazy. Thank goodness Fontanians are wholly human, or else this would be a greater concern than it is. The day of return has arrived. Who was that? I mean, this would be a perfect area for a boss fight. Flare. Flare. What? Flare. Wait. Oh god, no. I sense reason. Visitors, are you the successors to the Nazcaroos? Or are you a threat? I require access to my keyboard. You've drawn your weapons. I see your answer. Nazcaroos. So this thing is Nazcaroos of the Nazcaroos Ordo. Fleur. I'm just trying to move you. She's like, how could you? Such an angry baby. Such an angry, fuzzy baby. Fleur, why don't you come over here? Fleur. Come on. Come on, just scooch over here. Yeah, you love sitting on my PlayStation. I mean, my PlayStation's not on. I'm on PC, as you may be able to tell with this mouse, because of the mouse. Normally I would be annoyed, but my PlayStation is 30 degrees to the right of me, so she's out of the way. Huh? This thing's Nazcaroos? If you have heard my name, then you know of my quest to save the world, and there is a chance that you can be saved. You draw your weapons at me only because you've been misled by untruths, but this is no time for me to waste my powers. Wonder and rejoice. When all is over, I shall explain. I shall demonstrate. But now, place the holy blade in my hand and flee to safety. I'm giving you the holy blade. Foolish, foolish. But I forgive you and will save you nevertheless. I can sense that the 4 orphans have been reversed, but the tree of flowing is not yet complete. It is no longer possible to save everyone. I will extend my benevolence as far as possible, even if it makes an overdraft of my own life force. Only 5 in 10 can be saved. I will strive to save 6 in 10. Now, I shall come to take the holy blade. This is a very interesting situation, because it's like, baseline, what they're trying to achieve isn't bad. They're... And arguably, they're not even... Why are you so determined to hope? Do you not know the apocalypse is nigh? Find the right Let's go save the world. I mean, difficult battle, but not impossible.
This is not the
reason. Oh. On your weapon to see Nascaruz. This thing is Nascaruz. Heard of my name, you know my quest. Choice for not giving you the holy blade. Foolish, but since only 5 and 10, I should strive for 6, not give me the holy blade. So, if not winning the fight, at the very least, we are to party members physical damage, attack, damage, refreshing Fanta. Yeah, sure, why not? Crit rate, and then just a wee bit more defense. Max health, interesting. I'm very curious of like how far. Are you so to oppose me? Do not know the apocalypse is nigh. Find the relics, and wait.
Water jet!
Oh my gosh, cat. Okay, down she went. It appears the ones that allow me to see the essence of immortality and the judgment of the Reign of Blades, which transcends the laws. Oh, wow, what are we gonna do? Holy Blades got the currency from nothing I see, and you may enter to avoid the Reign of Blades. Does reason guide your escape? Feel your need to avoid those rift things. Yes. Well, I didn't have my hands on the keyboard, game. Saying, ah yes, avoid the rifts when you don't even know that there are rifts to avoid is quite a bit rude. You dare not face a manifestation of your own shortcomings. Something. The Reign of Blades is still happening, and the Reign of Blades is still happening. The Blades guiding us to such a bubble. Oh, what does it have? Some kind of deep, mysterious philosophical symbolism? Maybe I'm gonna give it an amazing name. Let's call it the Cruise Crisscross. I'm guessing we have to get those little bubbles. And we got more. I'm very curious at like how difficult this battle would be if you didn't go. Is reason which grants you strength? Oh no, I've noticed you are in that realm and pursue. Oh, you're equal to a world. Oh, you who are equal to a world. Yes, I would love to use charge attacks. But you can't use charge attacks all the time. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could. I don't really want to, though. Impossible. I had already reached the stage of no return, however fallen to this point. and I have lost all control of the primordial sea. Why? Why has this happened? Why did you do this? The new world cannot be born. All will die in this shell, a husk of a dream. Paimon reckons you're the one who should try waking up from your dream. The end of the world is kind of a thing that everyone should work together on to stop. I see. The holy blade is not on my side. With each swing, it cuts through the universe, the universal will that surrounds me. Until at last, my weak, ordinary self has returned to its physical body. The primordial sea won't overflow its banks so soon. The creature has already been defeated. I should have sensed the changes in the values originally entered into the world formula. A variable has descended upon this world. Not everything from outside the universe can be called a presence or a variable, but it seems I overlooked one nonetheless. You. The witness of all, the recorder of all, the designer of all. Only one who is worth a world can bear that title. I once dreamed of becoming just like you, but that dream is now shattered. All I have done is meaningless, an empty dream. No, less than a dream even. A dream is at least harmless, but I, know you, they, have paid so much for all I have done. Nazcarouz? Oh, it's you. I didn't see you there. Do you know who I actually am? Names are just labels, but yes, I am most familiar with the two colors that mix in your soul. Director Lyris does not know what has happened. She just holds on to Marianne, who herself still clings to life. She cannot understand such a complex and present future, and hopes just to retain the past, and so she does the only thing she can. My name is Anne. In that case, hello, Anne. I'm willing to forgive you. What an odd thing to say. From the very start, my plans have had lofty and sacred aims. Selfishness has never come into it. None may judge or criticize. I love the moving background. Sorry, I'm just trying not to be mesmerized. None may judge or criticize me, nor do I need forgiveness. Your aims may have been lofty, but your aims may have been lofty, but your insanity has harmed many. You didn't even enter the formula correct. You did not enter the formula correctly. And what's wrong with being forgiven for a mistake? You're right. I apologize. So please, Nazcarouz, come back with us. There are other people you need to see. This guy seems to become much more cooperative, but a request like that. Of course. Huh? Doesn't this sort of thing usually require some inner struggle and hours of persuasion? I mean, he was never a terrible person. Ocean water creature. Nazcarouz wasn't evil. Just trying to protect the world from a potential end. But fates have changed. As I have said before, I do not feel that I have done anything wrong. My mission has failed, but the world has been saved nonetheless. Let others mock and curse me. I am empty within now. Only one desire remains. What is it? I too wish to return to the very beginning, to the time before Nazcarouz's heroes set off on their journey. But that is impossible. We are not masters of our own fate. I no longer even have the power to determine my own dreams. Well, Knight Azorwing, when you're ready, we'll proceed to reseal the primordial waters, and then we'll leave this place. Hmm. Not the first time we've encountered the primordial sea. I wonder if it'll be the last. Nothing to say, Nascaroos? Are you ready to leave? There's nothing here now, just a majestic yet suppressed life force. If you're curious, we can watch some more. You can see the edge of the... yeah. I just know I'm not coming back here. Let's go. Are you ready to leave? Let's go. Yep, let's go. The entrance is sealed once more with the power of the holy blade of Nascaroos. I see. The person who almost saved the world spoke. The holy blade need not be a sword. It could even be a gold-haired outlander. And now, the younger sister, who never stood forth as part of the adventure, has grasped a sword at last. With that, you return to the Nascaroos Ordeal. I wonder if Nuvulite has felt any shakings in the world. Alright, well, since it's taking so long to load... Oh. The game heard me saying that I was about to continue telling you about that fic that I read, and was just like, don't you freaking dare. Well, since the game's taking so long to load, let me continue. Honestly, I'm almost at the end of it. And it's only one chapter, so, I mean, it might be 10k words, but it's only one chapter. And the game loads. I knew you'd come back in one piece. And we're glad that you and Seymour are okay. In fact, the floor was quickly flooded by rising water level, incapacitating the security machinery. Mr. Caterpillar carried me out under his arm. I said in one piece, and indeed everyone is accounted for, so how is there even one more person here? Allow me to introduce the Nascaroos, or rather what's left of Nascaroos. Master, you've made progress, Caterpillar. You seem even more human now than you did centuries ago. Thought I'd be more excited to see you, but I feel unexpectedly calm. Over the last several hundred years, I've read many books and have come to understand more about your teachings, as well as some of the absurdities in your theories. Image record of the individual known as Nascaroos has been updated. Please do not make any sudden moves, Nascaroos. Silly dog, you're not going to activate your mass annihilation mode again, are you? I judge that the threat he constitutes to you is low. Still, do not make any sudden moves, Nascaroos. Ah, Alan Galini's creation. I once saw a bright future for it. That it could perhaps achieve what the ancient people's golems could not. Not that it matters now. Could you let me inspect its internals? Just out of a desire for knowledge, of course. Seymour's our companion, you know. Fine. Saving the world is usually just a poetic rhetoric one employs to alleviate mental illness. Whether it takes the form of protecting the flame of a candle until the pilgrimage is done, or writing a story that allows fiction to invade reality. Did you recover from your malady in the end? Master, you know what has you now know what has become of Nazcaru's Ordu. What will you do next? There may be a hint of irony in your voice when you call me Master, but I'll accept it nonetheless. You surely know about your birth. I'm not interested in that anymore. You are simply toying with life, a kind of indifference I find despicable. I will accept that too. Your attitude is so negative. Have you given up on yourself? I will answer your question then. My offer from before still stands. I will reveal the mysteries to them and answer any questions. In that case, please take Anne to find out the truth about her origins. Explain the other Marianne to Nazcaru's. Ah, so that's what happened to the director and Marianne. I will help you, of course. It is something I ought to do. Let us go to the kingdom through the looking glass together. Well, as for your wish from before, Paimon, I've done everything I can. I'll be staying out of whatever happens next. Huh? What wish? Is your memory that much worse than mine? Didn't you ask me to help Anne and Seymour? Oh, right, but why don't you want to come with us then? I think the next matter is very personal for Anne and Marianne. That scene doesn't call for a character like me. But you, Zorwing and Paimon are different. You're the heroes of this story. Yes, the mighty heroine, Paimon. Well, Paimon should actually be... Be what, You're not about to say something mean, are you, Caterpillar? Whatever do you mean? You're the kind, guiding fairy at the hero's side, of course. Fine. Paimon will take that. Once you finish up over there, let us, things that used to be human, have a little reunion. Should I go with Mrs. Orwing, then? Of course you should. I mean, you've been seeking the end of this quest this whole time. You too need an answer, don't you? I apologize. I do not understand. In that case, Seymour, you should wait for us with the caterpillar. It is settled then. When it is just about time, I'll bring you to them. Understood. Seymour, caterpillar, thank you. Shall we? We shall. All right, let's go find Marianne. Hurry up and get it done then. We do need to have the get together, don't we? The reason why I'm not worried about everything going smoothly is, well, Nazcaru's is an absolutely reliable guide, so there won't be any issues with him around. An explanation. What do you mean? My operations require energy and commands, not explanations. Still, maintaining a primary directive system and logic module that both consistently return errors has brought me to the verge of shutdown. Perhaps I do need some assistance. Myself not to die, rather yada yada. Also, my table.
Go deeper.
To go deeper. Sarah was just so lovely. And then there's another Selena Chronicle quest. But that's for later. After we complete this story of Anne and Marianne. Here? Okay, so back to the one fic that I was reading. So, anyway, reason why I was like putting the character's age forward so much, like when I was talking about them earlier, about them being like only 50 years, because immediately the game was just like, do not start. Wait, this is even worse than last time. How's everything back to the way it was? Anne, you've purest water. Visualize in detail what this place would be like if all obstacles receded before you. Will that do anything? Caterpillar said before that the story has already lost its meaning. As such, the imaginary things aren't necessary anymore. That's how it might be for a low-level seeker. However, you are also the master of this place. Some believe the world to be only a prison of suffering, devoid of meaning. But you wield the power over this place, so rewrite it, imbue it with meaning. Only the hubris of one who believes themselves above the world can give rise to miracles. Had I not fervently believed I was above the apocalypse, I would not be where I am now. Are you saying that you also believe the world has meaning? Why else would I have made so many plans to save it? On second thought, perhaps Caterpillar was right, and only one seeks the world, one only seeks the world's salvation to prove that they themselves deserve it. Herman doesn't really get what that means. I think I understand. Only by transforming oneself into a being of light, to bring hope to a darkened world, may one be permitted to enter the eternal kingdom of life after death. The martyrs who perish for the world's sins, are martyrs who perish for the world's sins, undeserving of salvation. Everyone gets it and doesn't get it at the same time. It is no matter. My teachings no longer have an audience. Oceanidan, can you do what I said? I'll give it a try. And the water's pushed back and the dragon is calling. Whoa. You're amazing, Anne. You're amazing, Anne. Thank you, but I don't feel that amazing. Why is that? Because this is something you would normally take for granted. You've simply remembered a fragment of your origin. Let us press on. Most talented Anne, would you like to inherit Nazcaru's? I'll pass. Thought we needed to glide over to there. Apparently not. Well, let me see what I can do. Go back. We'll look out to the rear. Allow me. I'm getting the hang of magic, it seems. Hey, Very interesting. Why must you force my hand? I must defend this place. Not so many and deployed like that, just to become a fun friend. I also have people I must protect. Oh, we got yoinked. Back. I believe in you, Knight of Zorwing. We'll make it up faster this way. Why must you force my hand? I must defend this place. Dodge the cannon fire and break through the bubble formation. I have people I must protect. Oh goodness, that was probably a better place for it. Hey. Definitely. Nope. Or nothing. Go back. Please, I beg of you. Marianne's voice really is getting weaker. It's gone from a command to a request. Still, it doesn't look like she's begging us. Can you push yourself further, Anne? It's fine, since we've already come this far. There's no point in turning back now. Forgive me, Marianne, but we must get through this place. You got rid of them all, Anne? It's pointless to resist the truth. It's pointless to resist the truth. Anne merely defined that futile resistance. Let's keep moving forward. The door's shut. Now we're gonna get inside now. If you can't get in, then we can't get that dizzying corridor in the room and can't jump down to that place where we fought Narcissus. No problem. Allow me to ensure this visit of ours won't be in vain. Liddell is nothing more than a figment of the Red Empress's dream, and it's time to wake up. And this time, it's time to wake up. Indeed, that is the case. Oh? Are we just skipping to the end? When you've read something before and just skip to your favorite parts? The dragon was defeated, and in the end, everyone woke up. It's been so long. I vaguely remember this place. Like, this place was just specifically. Like, it's so weird. I remember this place, but, like, not terribly well. Now this is something I remember. Why couldn't you just leave us here in peace? Marianne! We should be able to help you this time. Please let us in. No, I don't need your help. Please leave. I'm begging you. Princess Lyris, your story should have you living happily ever after. I won't give up. This barrier is composed of an extremely hard and resilient will. But the Holy Blade is in your hands now, Zorling. If I remember correctly, the Holy Blade should be able to cut through any will that comes from water. Correct, clever one. Well, I've got it. Sorry, Marianne. Just bear with us. Don't come back here again. It's warm here. I like it that way. Don't come back to me with your expectations, with that determined look in your face. Just leave me alone till the consciousness that keeps this from formed together fades away. No one needs saving, and that's great. Just let me decay here on my own until everything has broken down. Please stop. I'm begging you, stay away. This is our Anapanusis. Smash the will to resist. And it's the question of, would you want to live in a beautiful lie or live in the cold reality? Reality is not always cold and cruel. And eventually, we all need to wake up from a dream. And we're smash through the will. Her will. Through words. Why are you doing this? Is the truth really that important? What's wrong with forever dwelling on dreams of the past? It may be that the truth isn't that important, but the future is. Indeed, even if you regard me, even if you all regard me as a villain, I have never once given up on the future. Wait, you're... That is correct. I'm Nazgûl. Rennie! Yes, I am Rennie. This is who I am now. I am most pleased to see you both as well. And your present state should be said to be something beyond human, or oceanic, a state of transcendence. A human is to ape, so is superhuman to human. Now hear the meaning of Fontaine itself. Is this really a good time to be saying this sort of stuff? You don't think anybody else's... You don't think about any else's... You don't think about anyone else's feelings, do you, Nazgûl? My apologies. I am responsible for the circumstances that led you all here. It's okay. I've already forgiven him, Marianne. It's okay. I've already forgiven him, Marianne. Please, look at this. This is... I do find it very fascinating that oceanids turned human tend to have blue hair and blue eyes, and also tend to dress in blue. This is everyone. This is the eternity that I've always longed to protect. Rennie. Yes. I can't forgive Nazgûl just yet, but Rennie is a different story. Nazgûl Institute was our home. Why did things turn out this way? It was likely doomed to be thus from the moment Alan had us act out the story of the hero Nazgûl and the evil dragon over and over. I too miss the way things used to be. But Nazgûl was born out of the delusion of salvation, and what a protected dream that was. But I was roused from that dream. Now it is your turn. It's not a contradiction to accept your past as well as how you'll live your life going forward. That's what Caterpillar told me. The apocalypse has been stopped, and the future is full of possibilities. The future holds more for you than just pain. This I promise you. If you cannot accept yourself, you can allow Anne to merge with you. Then use the holy blade of Nazgûl to separate the personas of Lyris and young Marianne. That won't be necessary. I'm willing to accept the past. Our little hero Anne's adventure is hers alone. I will live on as myself and see the world you risked everything to save, and to see what the world you risked everything to save is like, Rennie. Huh? The holy blade of Nazgûl is losing its power. I see. Your will has been conveyed, Marianne. The holy blade's purpose has been fulfilled, and its significance in the story has ended. Hammond doesn't totally get it, but does this mean that Azorwing won't be able to use the cool title anymore? Aw, that's too bad. Let us return to the original topic. You said that you'd like to see the outside, but is this now Guillotine's world? But this is now Guillotine's world. I doubt there would be much to see. However, if you can bring yourself to like it, that would be ideal. And, Rennie, shall we travel together? Absolutely. As for me, regrettably, you must allow me to decline. There's still something I must do. Oh, okay. In that case, don't forget to give me your address. I'll write to you about what Anne and I encounter on our journey. Just like when you and Jacob would tell me about what you saw in Tamara. Except, I'm afraid our journey will have to wait a teeny bit longer. Caterpillar did say we would have a reunion or something. That's right. He should be here soon. Let's wait a little longer for him, shall we? Why are you still stands up, girl? Alright, you two do you. Take this opportunity to talk to Marianne. Oh. Perhaps I should have proposed a toast. To us who were once human. I'm like, Caterpillar, Anne, and Seymour, question mark? But I don't think any of us could imbibe the way we are now. Oh, no Nascaroos. Was there anything that could not be said before we set off? I'm just giving you a chance. It may not have been a good time for you to say some things back there. You could tell? Well, it can't be helped. I expended too much of my power. I shall not remain able to maintain myself for long. But why? We worked so hard too. But before I disappear, tell me what you have learned over these last few centuries. I would like to know what sort of dreams you had. Until I met Knight Azorwi in Paimon, I was always searching for Princess Lyris. Even after learning the truth, that I was just a character in someone's dreams, I have no regrets. That's because I already completed the best and greatest adventure of all. Perhaps my reward is being able to turn my dreams into reality. I was just going back and forth between prison and books, occasionally dreaming about parts of my previous life. There were times when I wondered whether the butterfly became me or I became the butterfly. But once I awoke, I would realize I was only a caterpillar. The butterfly is also me, but whether it's a future or past me is hard to say. Dreams, magic, memories, esotericism, all that I once held dear. Esotericism. All that I once held dear now seems worthless to me. During the first 10 years, I focused all my power on preventing the disruption of my will. During the years that followed, I used that potent will to construct a universe within myself to resist my coming fate. That is how I held on. I suppose it's the same for you. To build a beautiful dream out of the ruins of what was once our home, that is an incredible thing. Marianne was right. It's warm here. Yes, I know. My girl Marianne, please leave me here. Farewell. He never did change his name back to Rennie, did he? Life, what is it but a dream? Oh, so this is where the adventures we and Anne had came from. No wonder everything was so chaotic. It wasn't finished. Yeah, I couldn't figure an ending out. At that point, everything had fallen apart. But the more such things happen, the more we want a simple, happy ending. You know, sometimes you say I, and sometimes you say we. Are you really Marianne, or are you Lyris? The Oceanid they're always talking about. I don't know. Well, not that it matters anymore. And Caterpillar, you're back. Where's Rennie? He was a bit tired, so he went to rest. Well, Paimon hopes he turns over a new leaf and stops causing trouble. Seymour, you can come over now. Understood. Miss Marianne. Your new hair and eye colors are simply dazzling. Honestly, you silly dog, is that all you can say? My language center is unable to express the information I am processing. I know, you're the same as ever. Sorry, I missed you so much. Right. So such things happened, huh? then there's Jacob. Mrs. Orwing and Miss Paimon's description largely fits with the facts, but one thing must be added. My power output during combat has been far below expectations. This is because over 30% of my components were damaged during the battle at Linus and have not been maintained since. I hope you will consider this when evaluating my performance and will not choose to scrap me. Of course not. You've always been strong and brave. You're so much more resilient than we are, Seymour. Indeed, my designer, Alan Galadini, is Fontaine's leading engineer, and the components I am made of represent the best of the nation's material science and craftsmanships. That's not quite what she meant. But you are most formidable, Seymour. Thank you for your accurate assessment. That's not what Han was trying to say. What are your next orders, Miss Marianne? You decide, Marianne. As far as Seymour is concerned, I'm just Anne. Seymour, what would you like to do? My primary directive is to accompany and protect you, Miss Marianne, on behalf of Alan Giladini. Oh, you silly. Those are my brother's, Alan's instructions. I'm asking you, what do you want to do? I once promised Miss Mammermere that once I found my mistress, I would return to her coordinates and thank her. And that was correct of you. Good dog. Marianne, do you remember what you once said to me? Yes, Seymour, I hope you can become the master of your own fate. Okay. Yes, Seymour. Alright, why is Seymour? I hope you can become the master of your own fate. That in the future, you will do what you want to do and what you think is right. Miss Mary Ann, do I understand this correctly? Are you saying that my previous received orders should be regarded as null and void? Yes. So let me ask you again, Seymour. What do you want to do? I wish to remain by your side, Marianne, but I also wish to accompany Miss Merrimere. However, I calculate the spatial requirements of those two wishes are incompatible. Perhaps not. We'll be taking a trip to explore this world, and Miss Merrimere is an artist, isn't she? Let our journeys coincide. We'll leave footprints in the deserts, in the forests, and in the snowfields, in the lost ancient city of Wise, and in Arcadia, in the golden Hyperborea. We will enjoy the sights we see and the stories we write together. What do you think, Seymour? I find that a very reasonable suggestion, Miss Marianne, but I will need to ask for Miss Merrimare's consent. Yes, of course. Let's agree to meet here. In any case, I'm eager to meet this artist who kept you company for so long. Coordinates entered. So next. Zorwing, Paimon, and Caterpillar, you're the bravest and strongest of all. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, so I'm no longer a knight. That story's over. And as for me, for us, you are you now. And for us, you, as you are now, are the realest and most important of all. And not just in the story, when you play the role of a knight. Just like the Holy Blade in the story became a new sword when its mission was complete, so too will the knight return as a new person. Ugh, I can't decide if you're praising or criticizing Zarwin here. It's praise, of course. Why do you look like that adorable little thing? You've written an end to an unfinishable story, and you've brought us a new tale. We will never forget this. Aw, come on, there's no need to be so polite. I've also gained a lot from being able to play my role in this tale. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful trip. Yes, and I'm confident we will meet again in the future. Then, it is time for me to return to Miss Merrimare's coordinates. You can come too, Caterpillar. You can come too. Caterpillar, come with us, would you? Let's caterpillar? Let's see this through to the end. Very well, I will accompany you. Sword of Nescris. The power is faded. Did we actually get a weapon? Sword of Nescris. Hero's Blade. When the equipping character does not have an archie, what the hell is an archie? Sword whose power has faded. When the story ended, it will now embark upon a new journey with the power that remains within it, which surmounts a certain great dream. When normal attacks, charge attacks, plenty attacks, strike a Plumina or Oasis, energy blast will be unleashed. Strike a Plumina or Oisa, an energy blast will be unleashed. The energy blast type is determined by the current type of the Sword of Nescris. Attack. Moth. Randomly got attacked by a moth. I say attacked. It flew into my face. I don't even think the moth knew it existed. That's okay. Just wanted to level it up at least a little bit. Hello, Fleur. I know. She wants all of my attention. She's giving me an angry look. She's so upset. Her tail's just flick, flick, flick. Where would you like to go right now? Oh, I've changed from our long. Changed after 100 years. I want to see the world beyond the glass wall. I want to experience new stories. Are you afraid, Marianne? I know stories end, but I find it difficult to imagine that everything would end like this. From the moment I was born, the Nazcaru's kingdom was everything to me. Fleur? That's everything to me. Jesus Christ. Okay, Fleur, come on. But from now onward, you must start your own story. Anne's story. And I must slowly step away from the looming shadow of my past. Neither Lyra's memories nor Marianne Gillini's represent who I am now. You have a long path ahead of us, Anne. But I know you'll be alright. Mary and Anne. If you find yourself feeling afraid, we can come back here. Even if only ruins remain, a seed that drifts here will bloom. So as long as we remain, we can always rebuild a new home. This creature just come to a conclusion, but power still remains within the holy blade. Immersed in the sword of Nascarus, in the font brimming with magical power within the story of Anapanusis can change the sword's alignment between Pneuma and Osa. Okay. So basically the Fontaine character's special element. This would have been nice to have ages ago. Yeah, let's go visit a friend. Oh my. There we go. Dislodge myself. Mare. Zorwing and Paimon and Seymour. You knew to come back? Is it just Paimon, or you sound a little angry, Mare? Yes, even without Zorwing and Paimon's help, my posturing and navigational modules would have allowed me to return. Incredible! Wait, so you were just surprised? Well, I knew you wouldn't disappear with the token that symbolizes my life and birth, and I also knew that Zorwing and Paimon would be sure to bring you back. Returning to your side is what I want to do. It is not a concept I fully understand, but logic permits me to do this. I believe this is correct. That's kind of complicated, and I can't say I understand, but never mind. It's just good that you're back. Oh, and this is? Hello. Don't worry about me. I'm just along for the ride. Is that so? Well, you're a fascinating color. I'm delighted to see Seymour. I haven't heard from Father since the message of Zoring passed on, and then Seymour left. It was difficult for me. Oh, it looks like Marimir doesn't know what happened while you were in a daze. Everyone in Marisia village helped me during that time. That's what made me realize what Father meant. Oh, yes, I've been learning a new style of painting while I was with them. Oh? Is it even more novel than before? I think it'll be easier to understand. Even the Melazines of Marisia village can tell what I'm painting now, rather than just saying, oh, how lovely. Wow, Paimon can't wait to see your priceless masterpieces. Oh, and speaking of paintings, Marianne mentioned something. Seymour explains the idea of a joint trip. A joint trip. Really? That sounds wonderful. Let's set off now then, on our round-the-world trip of artistic creation. Yes, let's go now, this instant. I'll pack up my art supplies and clothes, and you just sit tight and wait for me, all right? Yes, Miss Mare. Sounds like she's excited. She really missed Seymour, didn't she? Oh, you're sure springing into action. And heal her up. Of course I am. If you don't act, your dreams will never come true, right? Paints. Oh, while we wait, let me express my gratitude to you, Miss Azorwing, Miss Paimon, and Mr. Caterpillar. This is based on my own judgment and what, as Marianne says, I want to do. And what I want is based on my own judgment and what, as Miss Marianne says, I want to do. With your help, I have finally been able to complete my task. However, I still do not understand what it means to become the master of my own fate. Fate, you see, is a concept humans create to help them understand things. It is not real. Whoa, Paimon doesn't know how to explain this now. Didn't they tell you? Just do what you want. If you always do what you want to do, you'll become the master of your fate. I see. And what I want to do now is to sit here and wait for Miss Mare. Okay, in that case, Paimon wishes you all a good trip. Thanks, Paimon. Paintings to give. Be a good dog and look after Mare, alright? I will. It is what I want to do. You and Caterpillar arrive outside Marisia village. Marisia village. So the tale of Nazcaru is ended. It's time for me to follow my own path. Where will you go, Caterpillar? It's a good question, Paimon, and since the beginning of time, only the most determined and resilient of people have found their answers. There you go again. I jest. For now, the only thing I can be sure of is that I still owe Lenore half a story. But I don't know how it ends yet. There's there's a lot to consider. I don't know where I'll go, but there are a few things I need to find. Is that so? So, goodbye, Zoring, and farewell, Paimon. Meeting you both has been the most fortunate thing to happen in this life of mine. Likewise. Goodbye, Caterpillar. Yeah, take care, Caterpillar. Don't let anyone find out who you really are. That'd be a pain. The Hilichurl smiles before turning to leave. Rowboats? Wait, quest completed. The Nascaru's notes. And just like that. Jeez. Like, what story do I want to talk about? Like, all that of... And just rediscovering...
Add Astra.
Astra Applesauce.
Thank you for
Just... Wow. I got 40 of these coins. I want the flowers. This is more adorable. Still lots of things, but... Well, let's zoom out and see if anyone has appeared on the map. They truly could appear from anywhere. Speaking of which, Barca in Mondstadt. Anyone in Inazuma? Doesn't look like it. And I don't think there was anyone in Fontaine. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's anyone in Sumeru. Sumeru is such a massive area. And Natlan. Jesus. How is that area 100%? 90, 94, 74, 87, 91. Well, first let's go see Varka. And then while we teleport there, I'll finish off this crazy chapter of a wonderful story. And it is going to be a wonderful story, I can tell. Okay. So, as I was... So, well, 50 plus might be old. They're 50, no, they're around 50, not 50 plus. Because that's also counting their human years, like the time they spent as human. So, they had an incredible, like, I was way overestimating. They had an incredible 30 years as a vampire, where they basically became, like, the most terrifying, person to just fight. And Arca? In theory, he should be here. And so, like, but also at the same time, he's essentially the the only living vampire of the coven that he's from.
I know those voices. Why, if it isn't Paimon and the Honorary Knight. Praise be to the Animo Archon for this flurry of good news.
Glory.
Huh? Oh, hey, Glory. What's got you in such a good mood?
Have you heard? The knights who went on expedition are finally returning home. Which means Godwin should be home soon too. It won't be long now before we're together again.
Huh? Don't tell Paimon Godwin still hasn't told Glory about getting separated from the expedition.
Godwin, the idiot.
Could you help me scatter some more dandelion seeds? I want to thank the Animo Archon for watching over the expedition. Especially Godwin.
Oh, poor girl. Waiting for Godwin all this time? Should we tell her the truth? Or should we have a word with Godwin first?
Well, we need to talk to Godwin first.
Is something wrong?
Huh? You want us to help scatter dandelion seeds at the Animal Archon statue, right? Piece of cake! We'll head there right away!
At Glory's request, you head to the top of the Animal Archon statue.
How much longer do you think Godwin's gonna keep the truth from Glory? Paimon doesn't want to make her upset, but if we don't tell her... No! She deserves to know! Let's find Godwin and give him a piece of our mind!
I'm not sure that'll be necessary.
Huh? Why not?
Because I think Vorka's already sorting it out.
Huh? Varka? And Godwin? Wait, Godwin's back in the city? We need to go speak to him!
I imagine that Varka is.
Hey, Varka! What's Godwin up to now?
Shh, watch closely. This Knight of Favonius is making the most important decision of his life. Try not to disturb him.
Glory, it's me. I've returned from the expedition safe and sound. I haven't stopped thinking about you this whole time. Oh, no. I can't keep lying to her. Let me think this over.
To lie or tell the truth?
Glory, I have to come clean. I never left Mondstadt in the first place. Oh, no, that's even worse. Saying that will only hurt her more. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Oh, so that's what you meant. Paimon agrees that this is a pretty important decision, but is it really the Grandmaster's responsibility to sort out Knights' love lives, too?
Well, considering that he essentially abandoned the expedition, kind of.
No, not at all. As an organization, the Knights of Favonius does not interfere with personal matters. However, the issue he faces is about more than being a good partner. It's about being a good knight.
I should just tell her the truth. Honesty is a knight's greatest virtue. But Glory is so fragile. What if she can't handle the shock?
Seems like being Grandmaster isn't always so easy.
Well, it's not all that difficult. Besides, it's not like I'm entirely blameless in the situation either.
Oh?
Back then, I had my hands full preparing for the expedition, so when he suddenly applied for leave, I told him to report to Jean instead. The plan was that he'd rejoin us later. Who could have guessed he'd spend all this time agonizing over how to report back to Jean? Although, I imagine a good chunk of that time was also spent worrying about how to report back to his girlfriend. Naturally, I'll admit I was careless at the time. I didn't set a clear deadline for his report, which may have been part of the reason he spent so much time hesitating. That was my bad.
Certainly gave a hands-off approach, I'll give you that.
Truth is, hesitation only ever complicates things. Once a day or two has passed, you start to think, well, what's a day or two more? Then, after 3 or 4 days, you start to wonder if your current situation's really so bad after all.
I'm suddenly feeling a bit called out about my streaming habits.
Maybe I should just leave Mondstadt. Then I can pretend I never came back. Yes. Then I can think things over a little longer. Just a day or two more.
At the very least, he should be able to make a decision on his own that aligns with the spirit of chivalry, without me needing to lecture him first.
Does running away from your problems align with the spirit of chivalry?
Running away? Don't be silly, what kind of a night would ever... Wait, what did you say? Running away? Darn it, Godwin! Stop right there!
Oh. He's booking it.
Lecture incoming.
He's like, he'll make the good choice on his own. No, he's a coward. Yes, when you disappoint the Grandmaster.
Hey, Godwin. How can you even call yourself a knight? You were loud and proud when you first confessed your love. Where did that guy disappear to?
Confessed my love? Grand Master, how do you...
Please, half the Knights of Favonius know about you and Glory. Besides, that's not the point.
The point?
Honorary Knight, tell this scaredy cat what decision a true knight would make.
I mean, we could the one thing. Honesty is a knight's greatest virtue. I do find it hilarious that we could undermine him, but no, I
Too
can't.
right it is, though, in all honesty. See what I did there? A little white lie now and then can be quite harmless, too. See? There's honor in either decision. And yet, despite all that, you chose to skedaddle. Whether you choose to maintain Glory's illusion or come clean, as a knight, you should make a decision, follow it through, and bear the responsibility.
Uh-huh.
What were you thinking when you confessed your love? Presumably something along the lines of, does she feel the same? Might she reject me? Truth is, you had no way to know, but you put yourself out there and told her all the same. Now, all you've got to do is muster up that very same courage. The courage to make a decision, whichever one it is.
I don't want to be like this. It's just, whenever I picture Glory's reaction, I lose the courage to make up my mind. Will she be angry or disappointed? Will she forgive me? If it ends up leaving her as conflicted as I am, maybe it would be kindest not to tell her at all. But if I don't tell her now, she'll find out someday anyhow, right? All these thoughts in my head, aren't they just excuses I'm making for myself?
Yep.
Hey, what are you prattling on about now? You won't achieve anything thinking like this. Instead of getting lost in your own thoughts, how about you just lay it all out on the table? Come on, let's head to the Angel's Share. It's time to give you a refresher course in chivalry.
Can you really train chivalry in a tavern? Oh, looks like there's a long way to go before this situation gets resolved.
Mm-hmm. All right. We've been here for 2.5 hours, though. So aside from the Selenic quests, which I'm doing, we'll do Varka's witch thing another time. Varka, Shinobu, a bunch of characters. This is time-based, so I do very much want to get the ball rolling. See? I'm like trying to figure out when I'll get the wings by. Okay. So. Yeah, I'm walking. So. Okay. Oh? Interesting. Okay. So, the one fic I'm reading. They essentially, like, so, as I said, are... Can you hear Columbian off in the distance? So our dear main character, vampire, technically a fledgling still. Like, less than, 50 years of life in total. Like, human and vampire, so very young. And they're just currently captured, and essentially their life very much hangs in the balance. And so they eventually, get taunted, and they're like, I've done... And they're like, surely you must be centuries old, because absolutely no way could a little baby fledgling vampire be so threatening and dangerous as it has been. But alas, our main character very much is a fledgling and very much is just that, threatening and dangerous. So they walk around the water for the most part. So they pretty much just admit that no, they are a very young vampire. And like the one chick that's nodding him, red eyes and all, is just like, excuse me, no. Because like I said, fledglings are normally very protected. Like, vampires very much keep an eye on their fledglings, and they're just like, no, pretty much for like the first 50 to 200 years. The moth came back. Jesus. And so they're like, for the next 50 to 100 years, you're basically protected. Like, extra protected. So there's suddenly a very, what do we do now situation. Like, do we still kill him? Because very dangerous. This character has proven himself to be very dangerous and very capable of killing and fighting and winning these fights. Or you give him a second chance. And so, like, pretty much, like, there's magic in the world, and there's, like, a vampire that has the magic to essentially be able to tell when someone's lying, and they're like, so exactly how old are you? And they're like, ah, yes, 50-something. And they're just like, in total? And they're like, yep, in total. And, like, suddenly, like, they're actually asking him questions and just like, wait, what? And so, like, this whole council thing that he's, like, been brought in front of is just, like, arguing, like, well, what do? You can't just let him go free. You can't. What coven do you put him in? Surely that'll teach him some manners and things like that. Pretty much just essentially going from one cage to another. And our character is very self-sufficient, we'll say. And is just, like, very much understanding these unknown vampires, because while he was part of his original coven, pretty much never met another vampire. So he's very much out of his element, but at the same time, very much willing to fight for his life. Like, he's like, I could die here, but at the very least, I won't go down easily. So, like, the whole time they're, like, arguing amongst themselves, he just sort of, like, starts shifting the place, you know, as main characters do, and literally starts, like, very carefully, so not to be discovered, starts breaking his chains. Because, of course, he's, like, chained up to, like, you know, not just randomly be able to attack them and all that. And he's doing very subtly and occasionally, like, just shifting in place to make it seem as if, like, his movements is simply because he's nervous, which in some ways I'm sure he is, but, like, well, he is nervous, but that's not quite why he's shifting in place.
Hey there, Columbina! You seem to be in a good mood today.
And you interrupted her singing.
Come on up.
Hmm.
You want to play moon chess again or something?
Yes. It has been a while.
Excuse me?
And I
Goodness.
somewhat miss playing.
Are the rules the same as before?
Or, can you move multiple pieces per turn now because you're the Triloon goddess?
That would be cheating.
Hmm.
Yeah, Paimon knows that. She was just kidding.
Shall we begin then?
Hmm. Place pieces on the moon board, 3 of your pieces, something. Hmm? Can we say anything to Columbina? Hello?
Are you staring at me? Your gaze is not subtle.
I suppose. Just glad you're here, Columbina.
How about
Here. Let me think. The night sky is yours.
You have a wonderful time playing the game with Columbina.
The 3 moons linked up in a line.
Huh? Still thinking about how that last match went?
Oh, no. It's just... Looking back on the game now gives me a peculiar feeling.
Oh yeah! Now that you had the power of 3 moons, you've become more than just something that can dominate the night sky.
Yes. And I also think that the fate of the world may have been different had there not been division between the 3 moon goddesses.
What were they like?
The first one I saw was Sonnet, goddess of the iridescent moon. She was livelier than I'd imagined, more like a playful younger sister. Arya of the eternal moon was the most mature of the 3. She was a natural leader and was most gentle to others. Just like Lauma, actually. As for Canon of the Frost Moon, she seemed both wise and far-sighted. And it was she who gave her moon to me.
Sounds like all of them were kind deities.
Yes. Despite their differences, they loved Tevat, and they love this home. When I spoke to them of the things to come, they all seemed relieved, glad that this world still held so rich a future. That was also why they gave me the power to return home.
Paimon would love to see them and give them a real proper thank you.
I would very much like that as well, but I fear it's no longer possible. Fortunately, this world continues onward, and the humans they protected have survived, and pass on their stories to this day.
Yeah.
Exactly. As long as we live well and don't let the bad guys destroy the world, that's the best thanks we can give them.
You certainly have a way with words. In that case, every day is a Thanksgiving for you.
Of course! You can bet Paimon's always trying to live her best life. You too, Columbina. Eat well and sleep well every day. And come find us if you want to play games.
Sure. I suspect that from now on, I shall think of those 3 gentle goddesses every time I play moon chess.
Yeah. Well, you're continuing the story. So basically, our peer vampire friend, who his POV we're following, like very slowly breaks their chains, and like the head of the council, very old vampire, that's made note of, and it's just like, how can I describe? Nope. And very much is described as like pretty much so old that literally the entire rest of the council would not question anything that he chose. Columbina, she's actually up there. Anywho, so eventually they get tired of his fiddling, and they're just like, oh, you need to knock it off and just sit there, and essentially 2 weeks. Ugh, I was hoping I only had 1 week left. Alas. And is just sit down, wait for us to decide your fate and all that, and our character doesn't, and they are shocked for some reason. And apparently, one of the things that older vampires can do when it comes to like fledglings and just vampires that are weaker than them, is give like an order that must be obeyed. And our MC, like naturally part of the thing that makes them an MC, is that it doesn't work on them. And so naturally they're all shocked and even more just like, what the hell did we do with them? Because like, what do you mean they cannot be controlled?
Carry on their moonlight.
Like, what do you mean they cannot be controlled and whatnot? And so they're continuing their like argument and discussion and whatnot. And things progress, and our dear main character vampire just like eventually makes eye contact with like the head of the council, and it's just like, okay, so they see exactly what I'm doing and are just not, and they're just like not saying anything. They're just like, okay, then let me be very straightforward and just blatantly like drop the chains that have shackled me together. Like, make it abundantly clear that they are here, that are just basically our main character making it abundantly clear that they're still there and not doing anything as a choice. Oh my gosh. There's this bug that keeps fluttering around, and it's so freaking annoying. Anywho, let me just finish this because I'm very close to the end. And I'm like, pretty much everyone is very just nervous of him because, like I said, he was a very dangerous combatant. He could defeat 4 vampires while human before eventually getting overwhelmed or tired out and whatnot. So, like, as a vampire, with less human restrictions and tiredness, very dangerous warrior. So everyone's like sort of nervous, even though they're like centuries older than him. But at the same time, just they also, like our dear main character, just also very much admitted they weren't loyal at all to that coven. They were there because they could not leave. And they're just like, wait, what? And they're like, yes. They never stayed in, like, the nest of, like, I mean, because, you know, vampires and nests and all that. Like, no, never stayed in the nest. The second I woke up, a couple days after it was turned, I ran for my life. And I only stayed because I was dragged back. And so even more, like, confusion and, like, what do we do with him? And the head vampire of the council just says, let him go free. And everyone is just like, wait, what? Even the main character is just like, wait, what? And I certainly was like, wait, what? Like, I was genuinely wondering if, like, our character would essentially be on the run. Like, that's sort of what I was starting to expect. But no. And, like, they're just like, go ahead, go, leave. And they're just like, really, just like that. And I was like, yep, that's my final decision on the matter. Go ahead, live your life. So as long as you don't become the fierce fight, show us who you are, essentially, is what they're asking. Are you that fighter that that your former coven demanded of you? Who are you? And so the chapter ended, like, with them, like, breaking, like, the rest of, like, the shackles off their hands, like, as they leave, and literally the other vampires around them, like, flinching because, oh, you know, they were never contained. They just allowed themselves to be captured. So, like, they leave. And it's, like, really put into emphasis how lost our MC is. And they're just like, do I just go home? Parents are probably dead. Is their brother even still alive? Would the clan that they're from, would any of them still even remember them? and they're just suddenly faced with a future that they no longer know what to expect. And it's just somewhere in between, like, they have all of eternity in front of them, but they're not sure what to do with it. The world has changed. They have changed. They used to fight for their people. They used to fight to protect their people. And then their skill of fighting was put to conquering. And so it's like they don't quite care to fight anymore. They're not sure if they're a protector anymore. They're not sure if anyone that they cared for is even alive. And now they're just left to wander the world? Sure, they'll be checked in on every now and then, once a year, which, as they point out, that's a long time. And then, as the elder vampire pointed out, when you have forever, it's practically every day. And as the character was just leaving, wondering what to do next, that's where it ended. Or this first chapter ended. 1,000 years need to pass before we even get to the main story. So, what else could happen? Because, the main story begins with a bit of a tragedy on the main character's part. It's very much debated on if they had started a coven or not. But it was very much understood that they had been locked away. Again. I say again. That they had been locked away. And with this prequel story that this person's writing, it's were they locked away because they somehow broke the fragile peace that they had been granted? Did they step out of line somewhere? Or was it simply humans? Because humans certainly do not like vampires in this world. How did they get in the situation that they did, where they were trapped for centuries? Was it something that they did? And even then, before that, it was pretty well understood that they were alive for at least 500, if not more, 500 to 1,000 years, depending on how you count, depending on your interpretations. It is very much left loose of how old this character is. Over 1,000 years is the bare minimum. But is that counting the time that they were asleep? Debatable. So, I cannot wait. Honestly, this definitely strikes as the once every other month kind of fic that gets updated. Honestly, the writer's just phenomenal. You really do feel and understand the character's hesitation, and they're free. They've got what they wanted. About 30 plus years later. It only took 30 years. And now they're finally free to go home. But is home even there? And they're so lost. You really feel for the character. They've always wanted to go home, but they stayed because there were those that needed them. Those weaker than them that were in a dangerous place that they couldn't leave behind. And now that suddenly they don't have any of them to watch over anymore, do they even have a home to go back to? And gosh, in some way, shape, or form, I sure hope that they do. I hope they were remembered. Because one of the things, in the fic, they mentioned that our main character sent a message home to their family explaining what happened and that they were transformed into a vampire. And they're just like, whether or not my family believes me, I'm at least going to try to tell them that. And they like left a message. They'll go home when and if they can, but not to expect them. Were they written off? Were they forgotten? If they get back, will they even be welcomed? Does any of their family live? So many questions. And gosh, I sure hope good things happen for this character. I always hope good things happen for characters. I read a lot of angsty stories. I read a lot of hurt, no comfort stories. I also do read a lot of, like, happy ending stories. Hurt and comfort stories. I love tragedies, but I also do love characters being happy in the end. So may this character be happy. And may you be happy, my darlings. I'll catch you next time. Bye!